YMH Live was crazy. Shouts out to the big mommies, Tom, Christine, and Tim Dillon. Hey, man, I will say, the homies back at the crib, they was pretty upset with me, man. I mean, they figure, let me show support for the boy. I mean, they not like, I mean, they niggas. They niggas from the hood. They don't really, I mean, I listen to podcasts. That was my whole shit. I've been a mommy for years. Y'all know that. But that's not their thing. So they felt like they were supporting me. They bought the live show. And I mean, the heavy segment, they didn't understand, but I mean, I'm pretty sure, I know a couple of the homies, they saw it on the timeline. People talk about the heavy segment, but I feel like niggas, that's me. I could picture myself in in they frame of mind, like the heavy segment. I mean, they probably thought you was talking about BBWs, They ain't think like the heavy segment, So they watched the live show, and they were entertained for the most part for the show. But they wanted their whole deal was they wanted to see the song, They wanted to see your boy. And they had to get through the heavy segment to do that. So they didn't see none of the homies. They were like, man, I didn't even see your song, man. I didn't even see the song, but man, it was dicks going through stilettos and like what the fuck you got me involved in? Like, cause I mean, the homies, we all support each other at Bruiser Brigade. So if anybody do something, me, Zaloopers, Bruiser Wolf, like if we got some cool shit going on, we probably, I couldn't say that I know cause I wasn't there. I'm just knowing what holla at my boy Scooty. My boy Scooty told me. But so I'm pretty sure they had a little function. They probably was barbecuing, had some bitches over. Like, we about to watch my boy Danny. Danny on some shit. And they sitting there as a crew. They all together. Think they watching some wholesome content. And all of a sudden, the Had to Be segment comes up, and I guess it ruined the party. Like, yeah. I mean, I want to apologize to all my bruisers back home, man. It wasn't my fault. I didn't know. I mean, y'all don't. At the end of the day, it's like even like the homies. I mean, motherfuckers be watching my podcast and shit. Like, even remember I told y'all the story about the snake and shit. Like, man, the snake and shit. My pop brought the snake through. That probably gave me some trauma and shit. My dad gonna send me a text message like, "I love you, son." I already knew what that shit was about. I'm like, man, stop listening to this shit, man. So I want to tell all y'all motherfuckers, man, friends, family, anybody that love me or care about me, man, stop listening to this goddamn podcast, man, because I ain't about to start censoring myself or thinking about shit, because that's one thing I hate about comedy. I always knew that for me to be the funniest I can be is not to have a filter. Because once I start thinking too hard, be like, I'm saying shit to fucking, like I can't say that. I mean, obviously I know it's like I say, it's certain shit you want to say. If you say it, then you gotta deal with the consequences that become behind that. Like, even like I know my girl listens to the show all the time, and she be fucking mad at me and shit and all that kind of shit. She shouldn't be listening to this shit, because at the end of the day, I'm not about to fucking censor myself for comedy. And if sometimes we do shit together, and I'll be like, oh, this shit funny. In my head, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna talk about this on the podcast. So you probably should. I mean, anybody that's my friend, they should probably. I'm not saying censor yourself or I'm gonna do anything, but I'm not about to fucking anything that's going on in my life, I'll bring to this shit. So I'm sorry.